Yeah, and nice to see you all on the screen. So I'm Viola. My face, you saw my face in social media as the kind of main chatter of our chat today. But we've also got Sebastian, our president.
So hello, everybody.
Hello.
Great, and all familiar faces at the moment. So yeah, Kirsten, thanks for joining us. Kirsten did a really good CPD or taster session recently on heritage interpretation. And who was it? Dimitra and myself went along. So Dimitra is one of my colleagues of the training committee. Yeah. Nice to see you. And yeah, okay, on you go. Just say a couple of words. Okay, and then Thomas. Thomas is just one. Are you at home at the moment?
Yeah, I just arrived back yesterday. So in fact, it's really lucky today because my group is now exploring Edinburgh and I'm taking to the tattoo in the evening. So I just finished a 12 days extended tour, my longest so far, which is fascinating but quite exhausting.
Yes, but you had great weather, so...
Well, except very rainy on Iona and Run of Moor. So...
Yeah.
But then, people, I mean, they are Australians, they are used to sunshine, but they don't come to Scotland because of sun.
Yeah. So Thomas is one of my colleagues in Edinburgh, and the capital of Scotland, and I'm based in Glasgow, the largest city in Scotland. So it's nice to see a colleague so close to home, and all of you from further afield. So Kristen, tell us where you are at the moment.
I am home in Connecticut. So I actually have visiting family. So she is upstairs sleeping because it's early here, and I am coming to meet Viola.
Oh, how kind, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm yeah.
Oh, I don't lead tours anymore. I'm actually a trainer of guides and docents and educational practitioners of all sorts. But Thomas, I empathize with those long tours. I used to run the 14-day tours in France, and they are wonderful, and you get to form these great connections with people. But yeah, they're long and they're tiring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm starting an 8-day tour tomorrow. So it was a Swiss group, and they're also going to the tattoo. So next Wednesday, I think. Yeah. So a big event in Edinburgh. So that brings the festivals brings a lot of people in. Yeah, we've got, is it Sia? Sia, who's joined us as well. Hello, welcome.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm in Finland now, in sunny Finland. Yes, in Turku, close Turku, which is the former capital. And thanks for inviting us. It's a good idea because we now get these digital possibilities. So I'm a teacher, but I have been tour guide since I was 25. So 5 years ago, many years ago, but I'm retired, but I'm still substitute teaching. I teach and also teach also new becoming guides in Turku. But I have been quite a lot involved in VF, this World Federation, when I was a president for Finnish Tour Guide Association. We have about 1,300 members in our different association in the different part of Finland, which is a little country, 5.5 million inhabitants, but we have a large country and quite active guide activities here. So I was a president for 14 years. Beside my, it was voluntary, of course. I was still teaching, and I was first secretary for 5 years, 14 years, president. Now I'm the honor president, or how do you call it in English? I don't know. So I'm quite bilingual for Finnish and Swedish because I still have one home in Stockholm. But I'm quite talkative. I'm a teacher and I'm a tour guide. I'm very talkative, but nice to see you, everybody. It's beautiful sunshine here in Finland. We have got a lovely, lovely summer, 26 degrees. So happy for that. Thank you. I was in Spain in my Spanish home, and it became to become over 30, almost 40. No more August there.
Oh dear, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a
Thank
lot
you.
of names everywhere. You're
Yeah,
citizen of the world. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Turku, there was a FEG meeting once, was there? The European Federation of Tourist Guide Associations.
Yeah, maybe we are. I have been now trying to be active that our federation. I hope that they. I have not checked it, not yet, but I should check it. Still, we were the first members when FEG was this World Federation. Our third federation was established in Vienna. So Finland was one of the active countries to build it, or how do you call it? But we have not been with in FEG. Perhaps that could be also, and of course it could be one of our federations. But we are quite active. You probably have heard about Nordic guides. We have, it's called Inter-Nordic Guide Club, or Nordic countries: Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Iceland. So we have once a year very good congress. Now we were on Åland Islands between Finland and Sweden. These islands belong to Finland, but the only official language is Swedish. So we were about 80 tourist guides, two guides from different parts of Nordic countries, and next year we are going to go to Iceland. So they invited us to come to Iceland. I have been twice there in Inter-Nordic Guide Clubs congresses. They are always well organized, nice people, good program. So we are here, of course, because we have our distances are a little bit closer here. So it's easy in Nordic countries. We are quite active here, so we know each other's. We can help each other's when they have their groups and so on.
Oh, yes, the cruise. Do we call that Inter-Nordic Guide Club?
Inter-Nordic Guide Club, yes.
Okay.
And and now our president is from Sweden, from the western coast of Sweden, close Gothenburg. She's now our president. So we elect our president for 2 years. And normally it's always we try to do some kind of schedule that these 2 years it's Swedish. Last time it was a Finnish lady who could speak many languages, Nordic languages. But we normally manage, we very rarely use English because our Finnish language is totally different. But most of us, we speak Swedish, of course. So we can still manage quite well with Norwegian, Danish people.
Wow.
So we call the language we use, it's Scandinavian language. We understand quite well each other's. Those from our colleagues from Iceland, then we have to switch to English. So it is a relative language to Scandinavian languages, but to Finnish and Swedish, Norwegian, Danish are family in the same language family. We manage with each other's quite well.
Yeah. I lived in Hungary for 2 years, so I was trying to learn a little bit of Hungarian, which and I had a Finnish colleague, so she thought, Finnish, Estonian, and Hungarian were quite similar, but completely different to any kind of language.
Completely different. When I was in Budapest, I didn't understand anything, but we belong to the same language group: Estonian, Hungarian, Finnish. So we do understand a little bit Estonian, but you have to be very careful because the same word can mean totally opposite, and you try to be polite, and you may use very, very stupid words.
Yeah, but always.
But Hungary, no. We are relations. Our languages are relations, in relationship, but. No. We perhaps some have a little bit the same grammar, long words, and grammar is perhaps a little bit similar. Nothing more.
Talking about languages, Thomas, how many languages do you speak?
I'm a little just simple teacher. I only speak Finnish, Swedish, English. I do have studied Spanish because we have a home also in Spain, French, a little bit German. Yes, we in the little country we have to learn many languages. Nobody speaks with us Finnish when we are traveling, so normally it's quite highly valued to learn different languages. But have to say, sorry to say, I apologize for those English speakers because English has taken over so too much. Youngsters will only English. So and there are a very important French, German, of course, and Swedish. So it's a little bit pity that English has taken over too much among our youngsters.
And
but I mean, Seija,
here we go, Thomas. Over to you.
Don't be so absolute. Minä pidän Suomesta ja suomenkielistä.
Kuka siellä onkaan? Who is there? Who is there?
Minne on puolalainen.
Joo.
Yeah.
Hauskaa. Siis puhut suomea. Osaat suomea.
Pidän.
He likes. Thank you. That was very kind of you. So, he said that he liked Finland. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I find the language fascinating exactly because it has a different structure. Yeah. And it has an advantage of being very clearly written. So if you know how to read, you don't have irregular words.
We call it, when I teach Finnish to our immigrants, which is one of my jobs, I normally say when they say, oh, teacher, this Finnish is so difficult. I say, no, maybe in one way, but our language is phonetic language, which means what you said, that we read like we write. You can read it quite correctly without understanding anything. Yeah.
So I noticed that what in Finland I can usually ask quite easily a question, people understand me. Whether I can answer the question if they answer if they speak fast. You can pronounce it so that it's understandable. So I think I am a big champion of introducing different languages, and I guide myself in 5, and I try to add a new language every 2 years.
Excellent.
That's my ambition.
We had a CPD session on heritage interpretation in Armenia, and Thomas was there, and he learned within I don't know how many weeks, very quickly learned the Armenian alphabet and spoke Armenian quite well. We still have our WhatsApp group there.
That's right.
Impressive.
That's right. So I think we should try to not reduce everything to English only.
No.
Talking about that, actually, we had a request today, where the request came in earlier, but for today to maybe speak in French as well. So our Zoom package is technically enabled to translate, but also, maybe to remind that, it's true, we do speak English in most of our meetings, but our area representatives, the team of 16, I think they speak so many different languages, and
yes, they do.
And
our other official language, which is Swedish here in Finland, because we have history background, 700 years together, Finland and Sweden. So that's why we still have here our constitution. Swedish is our second language, but now we have about 7% of our inhabitants who they have Swedish as their mother tongue. But Swedish is totally different. It's like singing. It has a melody, and sometimes we are laughing at our politicians when they talk. They talk many languages, but they talk very monotonously, like they speak. Our language is very monotonous. We always press on the first syllable, so it sounds quite different. But now we are lucky. We have a president who speaks fluently 5 languages.
Yeah. I'm really quite interested. More and more people are joining us. So welcome everybody who is joining us. Do you want to maybe say a couple of words or comment if your internet allows? Switch your camera on. We've got Nomonda, Kanya. We've got 2 Kanyas, Jonela, and apologies if I'm pronouncing your names wrongly. So welcome everybody. Let's hear from you.
They may be a little shy.
Or internet connection. So, but I think there was.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, those sessions, they are really an informal chat, or tourist guides to tourist guides. Expo. And it's also a great opportunity to show the human side of our, just wherever the chat takes us. So there's no, for those meetings, no agenda as such. Don't know if you've got any aspects you want to share about your guiding life, anything, any concerns, any success stories you might want to share with us.
Sorry, Viola, I came a little bit late. I was a little bit late. Did you already had your own presentation?
There's no presentation. It's just a chat.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah.
But where are you sitting now? In which city?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, in that terms, in my introduction. Yeah, so I'm a tourist guide in Scotland, in the whole of Scotland. So small countries with 5.3 million inhabitants, but much smaller than. So from the population, it's the same as Finland, but much smaller in terms of area. So, and I'm based in Glasgow, and the largest city of Scotland.
Glasgow. You certainly remember, perhaps you were with us, we have World Federation Conference in Scotland also.
Yes, 2003.
We have had it. Yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah. We were. It was well organized, and we heard. I don't know if that was only a joke. They said that Edinburgh wanted to have a congress, and or even Glasgow. So they made a compromise. They compromised, and they took a place. I can't remember the place. It was a lovely place in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. Our American member said, "Where are we? We are in the middle of nowhere." But it was well organized, nice trips, good guiding, very good congress.
Yeah. And the compromise, actually, you're absolutely right. So Edinburgh and Glasgow are the two largest cities. Edinburgh, the capital, Glasgow, if you want, the industrial larger cities. Even for our association's headquarters, we chose Stirling, which is a historic town between the two. And when they,
I think that we had when you named the place, I think it was Stirling we were in.
Yeah, near Stirling,
it was a big manor house or something. Yeah.
It's called the place where the convention was. It's called Dunblane. That's where Andy Murray, the tennis player, was born. Who just retired at the last Olympics.
Yeah.
So, Would you come back to Scotland for a conference, for a convention?
Pardon?
Would you come back to Scotland for a convention?
That would be. I think that quite many Europeans would come because quite good connections and easy to come, not so expensive either. Yeah.
Are you coming to Japan? Our next convention will be in Japan in 2026.
I read about that. I have to think about where in Japan. Sorry to not. Perhaps Sebastian talks more about that, or Viola. Where in Japan?
In Fukuoka.
Where is that? In which part of Japan?
Sebastian, you're more involved in the organization.
On Kyushu in the south.
There you go. Thanks, Thomas.
And I still don't know the program we are still working on that behind the scenes. I think that in 1 week, we will launch the website with the first information, but the real website with all the details, with the pre and post tour and all that, will go live in in February or March 2025. So we have to wait a little bit. But I think there will be some newsletters coming in the next month, slowly getting in what we are doing during the convention. I know that we will have some amazing cultural things like origami, paperwork doing. We will all do that by our own, and we will see some typically houses, or we will sleep in some of the typical houses in Japan. And we will have a very, very good program for trainers, for tourist guides, with a lot of workshops, speakers, lectures. Typically convention
which time of the year it will be?
It will be in February 2026. So it will not be during cherry blossom period, but during plum blossom period. So it will be flowered in a little bit darker pink, I would say. Not really, we are not allowed to say it pink, but it will be more like pink going to red and blue.
Yeah, purple.
Purple. Thank you. This is the right word. Purple.
Oh, that's good. Somebody from somebody is good day, everyone. Yes.
Yes,
Somebody
good
said
day,
yes.
Nomonde.
Yeah, have to leave. It's a good idea to have them in February. Oh, it's learn every day something new. Plum blossom in February. Never heard before. Interesting. Yeah. Good.
I like plums. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yes. Very good. Good
And
idea. Good idea.
Another event we are currently promoting actually is our training courses in Cyprus. So we've got an international training center in Cyprus and Nicosia, and Anya will be attending one of the courses there. So we have a Train the Trainer course, 14 days Train the Trainer course, and international Train the Trainer course as well.
Yeah. And you certainly, everybody knows Titina in Cyprus.
Yes,
Titina, yes, a lovely lady,
President Emeritus.
Yeah, very good. Yes, one of the best I know. Very nice lady in Cyprus. Yeah.
She's still an active trainer, so we had 2 meetings recently, and Titina really still lends us her expertise.
Oh, good. Yes, I heard because the one you remember that one meeting of the World Federation has been perhaps the first or the second on Cyprus, and since that Congress, Titina have still some friends in Finland, and they the couple I know, our former ex-president before me and his wife, they travel on the regularly basis to see Titina on Cyprus. So they have been family friends. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, nice. That happens when you come to convention and training courses.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the chat as well, and Yonela, Nomonde, and Kwayanya. Oh, apologies. What a lovely name. Kwakyanya. I need to practice that. We're having network issues. So feel free to use the chat, dear colleagues, dear friends, and we bring it in from the chat as well. It's really nice to have you here in the meeting. And I hope you can hear us. Connecting to audio.
And perhaps, Viola, just to mention again, this chat is here to ask all questions about WFTGA, about tourist guiding, about training, whatever you are interested in. It's really like a tea chat or a campfire for Africa. It's like meets, very good. I'm in Austria, so I have always a cup of coffee with me, with melange. But this is really a completely informal meeting. We are just here to answer your questions or to talk about whatever you're interested in.
Thanks for, and it's a new, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Did you already voted when you were on Sicily? In Sicily, it's a lovely place. I couldn't come, but I still have some friends there because of this Erasmus Plus program in my teaching. So I wanted to come, but I couldn't. What did you already voted after Japan, which would be the next one? Or no, it's going to happen in Japan. Voting for next Congress. Okay.
Where would you like to go? My question again, or what? And I'm thinking it's really for us also to experience the life of tourist guides in all parts of the world. Our conventions, and to help our colleagues locally. That's one of the main points there.
Perhaps after Japan, perhaps somewhere in Europe.
Again. Yeah.
Or what about US, Washington, New York? Are they active? American colleagues, are they active nowadays?
They are very active, and they made an amazing bid in 2017 when we had been in Iran. And normally they would have won that bid, but that happened after Trump made the Muslim ban. And they had been very frustrated after that because, it was really a very bad situation there, and also for the delegates. And they realized a little bit that at the moment, and with the American politics, you don't know what will happen. So I think but I know we never have been we have been in Canada, but we have not been in America, I think. And
No, I don't think so. No, in Montreal, we had a lovely congress in Montreal, but never. I have followed a little bit. I think that never in US.
And
Anya
have
was
you,
just
have
saying
you been in
Mexico.
South America?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mexico.
what
Well,
I want
Mexico.
to implement is a system of rotation so that the conventions are not always at the same continent, or that we have to go to all continents during the years, but I have to convince the board or the General Assembly that they decide that we do this rotation. And then the next would be, because we are now in Asia, we had been in Europe, the next would be, I would say, Latin America or Africa.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, I can say, Sebastian, I mean, I was running for several years the World Federation of Neurology research group on aphasia and cognitive disorders. And we made the policy, because before I took over, it was almost, or in fact, before my boss took over before me, former boss, it was always between West Europe and North America. And then we kind of extended to Eastern Europe, then to South America. Then I took over Asia, so we were in Turkey, India, and then Hong Kong. Then we came back to Europe, and we are in Japan this time, and are going to Australia in 2 years. So in a way, I think it's quite nice. I mean, if we want to have this, this idea of being really covering the world, it's quite nice if we are not just kind of moving between Europe and North America.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have right. Yes, absolutely. You have right. Yeah.
I mean, we are members of ICA, the International Congress and Convention Association. And there, the discussion there is quite a lot of the pros and cons of enforced rota system. But, like with everything, and, we really want to have more activities and not only conventions in the areas we just mentioned, so Latin America, Southern America, Africa, and bring the convention there. Maybe even open training courses or conferences, interim conferences, just dreaming out, so coming together, not only on Zoom.
Yeah.
Anya also mentioned Qatar, Middle East. There was a huge interest from the Middle East a couple of years ago.
I know. I mean, I'm Mexican, so I'm suggesting very biased countries at the moment. But yeah, Mexico, I think that it's kind of like in between South America, North America. So probably that will be a good country. But Qatar is developing tourism like crazy. And I actually work as a tour guide in there. And I've been doing some training there also for tour guides. So we don't have an association per se, but we have Khalid in Saudi. So I think Middle East is trying to step forward in tourism. That could be a really good place where to have one of the conventions. I know that they will be very keen.
Yeah. But the point we also made was it's our General Assembly that decides, and General Assembly, that would be the Tourist Guide Association, because WFDG is a federation of tourist guide associations who then have a vote at our General Assembly at the conventions, and they are the ones making the final decision on the bids. And we have been really lucky to, touch wood, to have a huge amount of bids. We even had to have elimination rounds because there were too many. Was it 3 or 4 that came to the convention? It's really 3 or 4 final bidders that come to the convention in person. We had 4 this time, didn't we? Yeah. So, but there were about 7 overall. And the other thing is that probably not, it's very unlikely for the host to win first time round. It's really second attempt or sometimes third attempt that it works out.
By the way, can you, Viola or Sebastian, do you know already what kind of weather is in Japan in February? Is it spring or winter?
Yeah, it's not really spring. It's a little bit before spring. So it will be between 10 and 15 or 8 and 15 degrees, something like that. So it would not be so nice and warm like in Sicily, but you are not coming because of the weather. You are coming because of networking with colleagues and all the other things. I
Yes.
have to promote a little bit our profession, and that we try to, that our conventions and the whole organization is becoming more and more really a networking place for professional guides, and that it is that the convention sometimes had been more holidays, and for me it has to be a good mixture between holidays and professional networking and trainings and
Yeah,
all of those
CPD.
things. Yeah,
Yeah,
CPDs,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, experts coming along, and really a platform. We are the global platform for tourist guides, and that's an opportunity to talk about our concerns and our and help each other. Yeah,
That's
and
right.
but it will be warm enough for the plum blossom, so it can't be that far.
Yeah. And this sounds good, but to be honest, now I have to connect my charger. So to be honest, from 10 to 13 sounds lovely, because we may have 25 degrees, 30 degrees, much snow. So I have to say that we were in Montreal, and it was even colder than in Finland, and we managed. We have fur coats, and we can manage it, but it means a lot that it's not so horrible weather. That is good weather for us, because most of us, we don't want to freeze. We can freeze enough here in our homes. So, so to be honest, we don't want to freeze. But of course, like you said, Sebastian, it's the program, and to meet colleagues is the most important. But the weather means something anyway.
I think we've got another colleague coming through.
And Viola, I want to know from the others what they want to talk about, or what their ideas are, or what their needs are, because WFDGA and we as board, we serve a service for our guides and for our members. So we are really here to listen to you, how we can help you. So feel free to ask in the chat, to turn on your mic, to raise your arm, your hand, your virtual.
Yeah, exactly. Why did you come today? What were your expectations?
Good program, of course, professional program, but also when we once travel to some other continent or to some other country, we want to have also touristical program. We want to see highlights, and we of course want meets, but the combination of good lecturers about our profession, and also touristical program. You don't want to come and sit in the Congress room for 1 week. You want to see surroundings also.
Yeah, besides the convention, I mean,
yeah, good post tours, good pre-tours, good post tours, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, as Sebastian said, it's really not only about our conventions. We keep together online and in between the conventions as well. So it's, I mean, how's your season? Tell us about how's your season going? What are the concerns at the moment in terms of tourist guiding? And I'm talking, I'm asking everybody. I don't know, Sabayash Sahi?
Yes.
Yes, hello, welcome. Yes. Tell us where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from India, and it's my pleasure. Very sorry that on the last 2 or 3 occasions, technical formalities and certain, engagements, I couldn't join. But it's my pleasure to be invited by you all and join this conference today. Thank you so much for the invitation. And in this regard, if you have any questions from my side, or let me put up certain proposals to all of you all, the guides of the world. In general, whenever guides of the world are traveling to India, I would like to, later on I can brief you over the mail also. That is, I'm trying for a system where, because I'm very much highly connected with the hotels, with the transporters. Nowadays, the new concept in India where guides have also come up with homestays. Okay. So,
okay.
Guides, many guides will, or their wives, or, promotion of ladies and women's entrepreneurship is really coming up. So my wife is also a homestay entrepreneur from where I'm sitting. This is in Darjeeling district. The town is called Siliguri. So I decided, just as a proposal, maybe on my next mail to all of you all. I would speak to the, my concerned owner and see that if you have a WFTGA card, you get a special discount, or, your relative or your friend or anybody coming to India. So this is the first proposal I'd like to put up to the WFTGA, that all your members, all your allied relatives or friends, I will select some properties where personally I have very good connections. It may be any part of India. And there, just whenever you, your relative or your friend, and if they carry that, kind of letter or WFTGA, whatever the discount applicable, or maybe on food and maybe on, things like that. This is the first proposal I'd like to give you all over the mail. And the second proposal is that in India now a large number of museums are coming, right? That will take some time, and heritage properties. So here in future, if through WFTGA, we can go for a venture capital where many of the museums, they don't have sufficient funds, or, whatever, they're neglected, or nobody, takes care, and it's very dilapidated. So in such a case, I'll put up my second proposal later on. I don't want to jump into things first of all, but on this occasion, on this grand occasion of inviting me today, I'll definitely give you the places where WFTGA members can get a discount, maybe wherever I have connections. It may start from the Oberoi Hotel, and, it may go down to a homestay. Not only them, their allied relatives, where you just, if just a kind of letter is granted, or a WhatsApp is placed where
so
it's certified, and then
that sounds sorry.
Yeah, because in India we have guide associations, this, that. I normally don't. I participate in the annual conference, but in India the problem is we are a country we are very much a bureaucratic country. So we have lovely things in our mind as individuals, every individual, every guide, but at the end of the day, what happens is that it may take another 1 year to say that. I'm not criticizing, just take it in a different way. You cannot unite 100 minds together. So I thought that this is a world platform. Why not approach you all? That certain museums, I'll be talking to them in Kolkata. My home city is Kolkata, although, and it's the ancient British capital of India. It has. Let me just tell you that in the just 3 years back, the state of West Bengal, from where I belong, it got the ITB Berlin Awards as one of the most bright states for tourism in ITB Berlin. And just by the way, let me just introduce myself. I'm into 2 languages, Japanese. I've been to Japan as well, but not to Germany as well. But friends are too many in Germany, also in Switzerland, and other countries. England, of course, because English friends, we always are in touch. So this is a great avenue for me. Thank you so much for all of you all to.
Oops. And she left us. Oops. Disconnected. Yeah. Oh, there you are back. Thank you for your kind offers. I hope you can still hear me. And when you were talking, that reminded me of our Kultur Card program, which as another project and benefit WFTGA has. It's not a membership program, but exactly as you were describing, getting partners. Some of them are actually our affiliate partners or members, affiliate members, to have preferential rates for us. Exactly as you were describing, and especially museums, heritage sites. Traveling with the Kultur Card has opened so many doors for me. But even just chatting to people and saying I'm a tourist guide sometimes opens the doors as well. And it's nice of traveling around, just meeting colleagues too, and maybe even just sharing a cup of coffee or a chat, or maybe going on a tour together. So it's nice to have this forum of WFTGA and have friends everywhere, family everywhere. Anyone else want to maybe raise any ideas, concerns?
I'll just quickly throw something in, related to why I attended today, since I'm not actively guiding, even though I miss it. And I keep thinking I'm going to put my hand back in and get my New York Guides license and just for funsies.
Yeah.
But as Viola knows, I am full-time a trainer of local guides, site guides, city guides, over-the-road tour directors. Like my students and my clients come from all over. But I'm always curious, and I joined mostly to listen today because I'm curious for those of you that are still out guiding in the field, how things are changing, where you're feeling like, I know WFTGA has a training program and a lot of professional development opportunities they provide to members. Like the tour directors and guides, the folks I know still doing the deal, most of them serve English-speaking clientele, maybe not exclusively, but that's their majority, the ones I know. So WFTGA is a much more global organization. And I'm curious, like, where do you see growth going? Where do you see, what are you looking for when you think about skills you are needing, either because the clientele has changed or wanting because you want to add greater value into the world? That's kind of why I showed up today and what I'm listening for, but it's all interesting. It's always nice to get out of my way too US focused colleague set. So I'll just throw that in the mix.
Yeah, my experience is exactly opposite. I do probably more than half of my guiding in other languages. For instance, German and Spanish, there's a very, very high demand. Portuguese, there's quite a high demand as well because of the Brazilians particularly. And even Polish, okay, it's a not big market, but there are not many guides either. So in fact, I just got 2 emails today whether I could guide in Polish. So I think if there is an availability, then there is a demand. And at least in Scotland, I can say, for instance, that a lot of Brazilian groups get tours in Spanish because there are not Portuguese-speaking guides available.
Can I ask, Thomas, is there anything that you are noticing that your groups want from tour guides that might be different than, I don't know, we talk a lot about before COVID in a lot of various forums that I'm in, that how things really changed after COVID. Are you noticing any kind of changes in the clientele that you serve in terms of what they want from their guides?
I started guiding just after COVID, so I don't have the kind of pre-COVID comparison. I think Viola will be much better placed to answer it.
And others, yeah. I don't want to hack the screen as well, but I think the main thing I'm noticing is that the visitors, guests, I like to call them guests, are looking for more personal connections, more personal experiences, authentic experience. Yes, there's still a kind of quick snap selfie market, but the market I think as tourist guides, professional tourist guides, Helga managed to open her video, great. Hi, welcome Helga in Paris. Work with, it's much more, and that might sound weird, I think I've become more human as a tourist guide as well. We are kind of very trained as, we need to be objective, 2 sides of the story. But in this, also the way the world is changing, it doesn't take long. We get talking about the environment, we get talking about the world in general and conflicts here and there. And looking at, into our heritage, how it has maybe dealt with similar issues in the past, or what we can learn from each other, that has become a much bigger aspect of my guiding. And it's really amazing how quickly that moves from just it's not an information provision as it was maybe 20, 25 years ago. I've been a guide for 25 years now. My goodness. Information is everywhere, but it's making something of that information and becoming more personal. Yeah, bringing things up. I don't know, what do others think? What have you noticed? What has changed in your guiding career?
I'm too short in this. It's only 8 years of guiding now. However, it's not longer the group that you have in a bus. It happens too, but there are much more requests from families, little groups, corporates, yes, societies that would like to have a guiding tour in Paris before dinner, when they are receiving guests and so on. And so when this happens, then of course it is much more individual, and you can go for very personal questions, and people are very, very interested to have your opinion. And sometimes it's very difficult because they won't have a political opinion. And me, I try to avoid the political aspects. I don't want to get inside these very troubling items, but sometimes it is it is interesting. And I guess we are, some of our associations and federations, they are fighting against free tours, free tours and so on and so on. However, this is my humble opinion, I think we have to thank them that these free tours, they made guiding popular. When I was a young student, I would never, ever, I had not the money, but even I would never participate in a guided tour. They were boring. This is what what we had in mind. And the free tours, as they are free, they show that a guide can be interesting, very amusing. Before the guides said they were not knowledgeable, which is not longer true. They are knowledgeable, and they have to be entertaining, because otherwise they do not get the tip. And so people now, my humble view is that they are more and more requesting for a guided tour, because they discovered that without a guide, a lot of things are not, they will not discover, they will not see, they will not, only with a book or even with an app. They are fantastic apps. However, it's not the same with this personal relation that we have between guides and guests, because they are not able to ask an application their personal questions. No, this is what changed a lot in the profession.
Yeah, you made a really good point about not being political, and that's still, that's very, very important. But it goes actually beyond that. It goes to the overriding human values, values of nature, and that came out of COVID, and also of living peacefully together. So that I think that comes through quite a lot. And yeah, just an observation, but interesting. Yeah, they talking about the free guides, I actually always get quite, I don't want to say angry, but frustrated that I think this is actually an exploitation of our colleagues, that they work for tips, and that's not, it's a proper profession, being a tourist guide, and none of us should just work for tips, regardless of how good we are. So maybe, has any one of you ever done the free tours? I don't know. Maybe we should start a conversation with.
Yes, I like it. I have always these kind of discussions with my colleagues, because the French Federation is really trying to fight against free tours, because they, and it is true, it's unloyal competition, because they do not pay taxes. They do not have the cards, and what is more, they are getting very invasive of public space. We have a big problem about this. If you try to guide Notre Dame just beside a free tour guide, it's impossible, because he's using loudspeakers, which is absolutely forbidden. However, so I did free tours. Why? Because they have really understand a lot of things that we didn't. For a free tour, you're not obliged to stay the time you want. You're not obliged to go if it's pouring rain. Huh? You just don't go. And for an overview, it's perfect. And when I was in Bordeaux with my sister, we went to the office, to a tourist office, because I told them I want a real guide, and no tip guide, no free tour. I want a real guide of Bordeaux. And the tourism office, they said to us, well, all the groups, 2 groups of English-speaking guides, they are already complete. Okay, we were a little bit late. And the other ones we can propose is French-English. So half time in French, half English, which is boring, yeah, because you have the information twice. And we asked, do you have in Spanish? No. Do you have in German? No. When is the next French-English? In 2 days. 2 days, okay? You go to internet, you book yourself into a free tour. There were 4 groups of 20 people in Bordeaux in Spanish, 2 in German, 3 in English, starting at 10 o'clock the next morning. So, and the fact that they take 40 people, they are very fast. They adapt to their market, because now you have to write and your email and your telephone number in order to get one of the 20 places. They do not take more than 20 people, because this was what they were, the feedback of the guests was, well, with 40 people it's impossible. So they limited to 20. 20 very interested guests that are happy to have a free place in the tour. And then immediately there is a feedback questionnaire that you receive either by phone or either by email immediately after the tour. How was the tour? How was the guide? What did you like? What did you like? And you give stars, huh? And they get not only the stars by guide or by company, their Google position rises up. So they are always in the 3 best position in Google. You type guided tour, I don't know, London. The first 3 are free tours. Try to find a guide. Yes, a person that has a lot of money and can pay 2 sisters, 2 persons, 250 euros. What is the cost of a half-day tour in Paris? Then it's okay, you find guides. But otherwise, if you don't want to afford, you go to a free tour. And if the guy is good, you give him 20 euros, 20 by 20 people, which is the average. It's 400 euros cash.
A lot of issues there. Yeah, a lot of issues.
And they know a lot of times much better the techniques of guiding that we learned in the training courses of WFTGA than my fellow colleagues. Sorry, I have to put the
really
there where it hurts. Because how many of my colleagues are saying every second sentence, in 1830 and in 1835 and in 1875 and in 1880, and they forget the techniques, or they never had the techniques in guiding school. They didn't have it. And the free tour guide, not only they have school, they have guiding schools, you know, the training they have. Also, they learn it just the hard way. No tip, something I'm doing wrong. And the feedback is immediately. If you are boring and you are saying every 5 minutes a date that nobody can get in their head, immediately it's done. It was boring. He was always giving a dates that we do not like to have. So he learns, or she learns immediately. And
That's interesting. Yeah.
3 or 4 free tours I did already in my life. I'm sorry, I have to confess, they were fantastic. With native speakers, with an excellent Spanish. Sorry.
Wow.
Fellow colleagues, pay attention. They are very competitive. They are getting extremely good. And they have a place in the market. Because a lot of people cannot afford. And now tourists, they are already used to make spontaneous. Everything in this world is now spontaneous.
Yeah, that's true. That's something I have to get used
to. I come to the city and I want a ticket to somewhere, and I would like to have a guide. Try to get a guided tour in the Louvre, to the Louvre, where we have to have the accreditation, otherwise try to get one. It's very difficult, and you pay a fortune.
Fortune. Let me come back to to the training. When I did my tourist guide training, all those years ago, I actually failed an exam because I used too many dates. So I think it depends on the kind of training you get. And free tours I used to observe in Edinburgh, they sometimes break a lot of safety rules. They block, the passageways, and so it's probably a mix. I'm glad that's not the case in France. So I think it probably is very mixed and is very patchy in terms of the free tour experiences.
Absolutely. What I want to say is how reactive they are.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
And they ask, the platform ask immediately for feedback. What do we do as official licensed guides? Do we send questionnaires to our customers? How was the tour? What was good? What was bad? Was there safety rules respected? Did he say nonsense? How was his language skills? Nobody does. Sorry, at least in France.
Some of my agencies I work with do that, so I get the feedback later on, but not everybody is patchy again. No, good point. And
you're right, it is a lot. I had to fight free tours a lot because I was chairman of the Chamber of Economy, and in the beginning they did it completely without licensed guides, and that was illegal in Austria. Now they are following the rules. For me, I'm very relaxed with free tours. For me, it's a market, and they have jumped into a very special segment of the market, and offering and service where a demand is, and where the old guides or the actual guides did not fulfill this demand. For me, it is, if the free tours are following the rules, no speakers, small groups, registration, follow safety rules and all that, they can do whatever they want. And I think because of there are bigger companies like Sanderman and how are they all called behind that, that's why they can do advertisement. They are very good on the market. And I know it from my association. I always said, we need a platform. We need a modern website. We need exactly this. Asking, making surveys, how are we? We need good trainings. And we did not fulfill the demand of the market. And that's, in my own guide agency, the first question is, we want a good guide. We want a funny tour. We want a good tour. So good is translated, please, not old numbers, figures, and all that. So we have done something wrong, and they jumped in, and now they are using license guide and all that. The questions we have to ask, what can we do better? How can we, so this is for me the question of guide association. What can we do? How can we start marketing? How can we improve our trainings and all that? So it's for me, not really a competition. We are all working in the same business. What I'm not really happy with is that with the mindset of the free tours concept. This is free, you don't have to pay if it's not good, because we are doing a professional job. And this is also, I would say, a mechanic for a car would never say, I'm doing a free mechanic. If you're happy, you can pay. So the whole business of guiding is, we have now standing in the society. It's so that everybody can do a tour. It has to be funny. You can tell fake news. It's all not. So we have to rise the standing of our whole business, of our whole guiding associations and all that. And that's the problem, or where it was difficult to deal with tourism boards, because they also said, you're the lowest one, you're not important. So it is, I think it's changing a little bit. That's what I'm realizing, that more and more want, on the one side, really professional, good educated guides, qualified guides, and they pay a lot. So my customers say it's no problem to pay really good money if I get a good quality. On the other side, we have those who say, I want to have a free tour, everything for free. But isn't that a little bit what actually happening in the whole society everywhere? Yeah. So, but once again, I'm always asking, what can we do from our association, from our profession, from for our companies to rise the standard?
Learn from them. I had several fantastic conversations with one of the most, aggressive free tour companies, which is called Guru Walks. Already the name Guru Walks, I made, oh my God, this is terrible. However, Guru Walks, it is based in Valencia. So every argument you say, they are, the money is illegally done in Cayman Islands or in Dubai or whatever. No, they pay taxes. The platform pay taxes to the government in Spain. Then when you say free tour, they say, for us, we write it, and they write it in their page. We say you are free of the amount you give to our guide, with the basis that at least he has to get 10 euros per passengers. And it's not free, it's free the amount you give. No, they change already. And these Guru Walks, they contacted me because they wanted licensed guides for Paris. And they let you shadow another free tour. So this is training. They give you a board, a welcome board brochure with fantastic tips about photographing they do not oblige to photograph how many people, because normally other platforms like Sandemans or Civitatis, you pay 2 euros per, and you have to make the picture of the group. They say, no, you are not obliged. We know, as everybody writes down their name, how many guests you should have. And I say, yes, but then if I declare all the times I have 12 instead of 20, because otherwise I have to pay 40 euros and not 18. He said, oh, once we believe you that you have less guests because it was rainy, but every time that Helga is touring is paying less, there is something, and we will shadow you. And so there is no trick possibly. And as they get the feedback immediately, if you declare I had only 12 guests, but they got 18 feedbacks, they know the guide is lying. So people is, and every argument you could tell them, because you say, yes, but the guide does not pay tax. And he said, the guides is their problem if they are declare or not their income. If he wants, he can declare he earned 400 euros to the government, and then he pays the taxes, no problem. It is the guide who is working black and not paying taxes. It's not the company. So every argument, and they are extremely good, really extremely good. And I was very tempted, because I think it's it's a very interesting way of guiding. However, as I am part of the Federation board, I cannot allow myself politically to go against the Federation's fight. So I didn't accept. But it was very tempting, very tempting.
You're muted, Sebastian.
Thank you. Sorry, I have to leave now. I have a meeting already since 5 minutes where I should be in. I think we should do an online convention about free tours and have some international companies there and discuss it with them, because I also want to get the free tours following the rules, and that they do not block street, and that they're cooperative, and that they use licensed guides where they have to. I know Guru Walk is one of those trying, but they're also saying, if you move to a country where there are no licensed guides, we will manage that for you, or we will help you. So this is why not just work together? I know at the end it's about money, but let's try to include everybody. This is what we're doing here as WFDJ. We try to include people, bring them together, and because we guides are peace ambassadors, blah, blah, you know, all that. But this is really what I mean. This should be the mindset, bringing people together also in a professional way, and let's discuss the problems we have really on a fair side from all sides. Perhaps we should think about
and
that.
And to remember that this is a profession. This is a profession. We want to raise our status of our profession.
Absolutely.
But of course, now you are closing soon. Thanks for having been with you. Interesting discussions. Thank you.
But I hand over to you, Willow. You're the host. I just say bye-bye. I will leave for myself.
I mean, I also need to go actually there.
It's time to go.
More than
1 hour is enough.
So,
yes.
So sorry about that as well. So as I said, I'm starting my 8-day tour tomorrow, and I have loads and loads of emails waiting for me. So apologies, but I wanted to thank everybody for coming, and that was the first time that I had been given the opportunity to be here, hosted. Well, easy job. And I just wanted to also say, the last point, we really got to the crush of it, and the market is big enough for all those different tours. As Sebastian said, it's really about coming together and working with each other, highlighting and raising awareness of our profession, and working together into the future.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. So thanks everybody who came late as well, but let's close the session. When is the next one? So they're usually in
always the 7th of the month.
There you go. Very easy.
Next 7th September, we have the exact timing. We will announce a week before, when we know also which Expo members hosting the session. And feel free to join and to talk really about everything. And if we have not talked about your topic, send us an email, chat with us on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram. We are here to listen and to help you.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the chat, so we will look at the chat. So thanks for all your introductions and joining us despite of the technical issues you might have. Yeah, nice to see your faces.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.